Hey there, Mr. Dixon.
Hello.
My name is Morgan Hill, and I'm a junior at LR conducting an interview for Sacred Spaces of Hickory. And our place that we have chosen is the Hickory Soup Kitchen. So today, if you wouldn't mind just telling us what your relationship to the Hickory Soup Kitchen is.
Well, you mean currently or throughout my experience?
Throughout your experience would be great.
Well, I had the good luck to be married to Mary Louise Dixon, and she was very active in the community. And I think we're talking of a period of about 1980 or in the 1980s, I think. And I think she was involved on behalf of the CCCM, I think, Catawba County Community Christian Cooperative Ministry, I think. And they were interested in dealing with the hunger problem in Hickory. And they were working closely with the Hickory Ministerial Association. And I was not at the meeting of the discussion of trying to get such a project off the ground, but I think there was a meeting involving CCM representatives as well as the Ministerial Association. And it was generally decided at that meeting that they should go forward and try to organize some formal group to deal with the problem. And I think she probably spoke out more than she should have, and so they elected her the chairman. That's the typical happening at that type of an event, I think. Anyway, she was very enthusiastic about it, and I don't know all the steps that were taken to get the CCM or the Hickory Soup Kitchen organized, but I know that it opened. The first official meal served was at the First Presbyterian Church, of which she and I were members. And at that time, of course, they had fewer clients, and the churches could accommodate the number of people that needed food. But the original way that they organized it was that 6 of the major churches in downtown Hickory decided they would work together, and they worked out a program where that the soup kitchen would be located at each church on a rotational basis. And I think they stayed at each church maybe a month or 2 months at a time, and then they'd move on to the next church. And the number of people that came to be fed kept increasing, so they soon realized that they needed a larger, more permanent site for the operation. And it was shortly after that that they got the permission from the city of Hickory to use the old fire station over near Lenoir-Rhyne College. And that facility had spots or facilities to prepare and serve food, but it also had dormitory facilities. And so I remember the early part of the service at that location involved preparing and serving meals, as well as preparing and serving a place for people to stay overnight. And it stayed at that location for some time, and I'm not sure whether the move was because they ran out of space again, which was probably the solution. But I think also that there was a number of improvements of roads in the vicinity that probably made it a good thing to move to a new location. And I think the place that they moved to was over near the railroad and near the Hickory Municipal Court, and I believe that that's where they're still located, although I understand that they're in the process of trying to buy and renovate and move to a new, larger and more permanent facility.
That is what we have also learned
But over the
this
years,
project.
my relationship with the Hickory Soup Kitchen has been occasionally to work on the serving meals and making small donations to the project, but also to usually have supper over there at their spaghetti supper, which is a very good meal. But I think that's one of their main fund drives, fundraising events during the year. But the project has become very successful, and they have a lot of clients, and a lot of people enjoy the food and enjoy the service.
Mm-hmm. Do you still attend the spaghetti dinner until now?
I still do it. In fact, I went just a few months ago.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I might have to go too after doing this project next year.
You're going to be back to have the spaghetti meal with the rest of us, you think?
I think so.
Well, that'd be
Definitely.
great.
Definitely. Yeah. So you told us a little bit about how your wife started the Hickory Soup Kitchen basically when it started in the 6 different downtown churches, and she became the chairman. Is that what?
She was the chairman, and I don't think she would like for you to say that she started it.
Okay.
She just happened to be very active in it and very interested in it,
Mm-hmm.
and just happened to be chosen the chairman of the organizing committee.
Mm-hmm. What was her role after she, helped organize it and get it running and, start planning and everything? What exactly did she do?
Well, I'm not sure. I think they had a board, directors and so on, and I think she was on the board. But what particular offices she held, I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
And but I think she stayed active on the board for a number of years after helping get it organized initially. And I think she kept active in the CCM and other similar civic activities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great. You mentioned that, your contact with the soup kitchen through her has been, somewhat throughout the years. Do you have any just particular stories or particular experiences that you had at the soup kitchen that are particularly meaningful to you that you could share with us?
Well, I grow and produce scuppernongs each year. And I grew up on the farm in Gaston County enjoying scuppernongs. But the vines, I have 6 vines, and they produce more scuppernongs than I need. So I brought a few over to the soup kitchen, and Austin Pierce thought they would be great. And so he said, bring all you got. And so I took 4 gallons this year over to the soup kitchen, and they disappeared just like butter on a hot stove, which was very, very much a joy to me, because I didn't want them to go to waste, and they seemed to enjoy them.
Right. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Have you?
And in addition, our County Bar Association, as a project, for the last several years, have devoted one day that they will work to serve on the line. And they did last year, and I went to a bar meeting today, and they announced that we were going to do it again, I think in May or sometime this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the enjoyment of working there. The last time that I worked, which was last year, I showed up a little bit late. And I said, well, what can I do? And they said, well, you can come back and help wash the pans. And so I got, by being late, the joy and honor of helping scrub the pan.
Scrub the dishes. Everything matters, right? Everything matters.
Everybody works together, apparently.
Exactly, exactly. Well, okay, so the next question that I have is, has your involvement throughout the years with the soup kitchen, has it taught you anything? Has it made you appreciate something, or have you learned any lessons from your involvement with the soup kitchen?
Well, I think I've learned that we all need to work together, because everybody in society needs something, some help somehow. And I think this is a good example of how the citizens of Hickory have together done a lot to solve the hunger problem in the county.
Our group at LR, we consider the soup kitchen a sacred place. Not because it's in a church building or it holds religious services, but because of the work that's done there. It helps people that are in need, and really changes lives. And that's why we consider it to be sacred. Would you consider the soup kitchen to be sacred as well?
I would, but it is not in a church building anymore, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It started in a church building. But
That's right.
then it was in a former fire station, and now it's in a place that has not ever been a church.
Mm-hmm.
But it involves work of the church, because the churches now, through other means, attack the hunger problem, and this is just one aspect of trying to solve that problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think it is about the work that's done at the soup kitchen that makes it sacred?
Well, I think people working together is one good aspect of it, whether you're receiving help, but preparing and serving the food is certainly a working together.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it is about the soup kitchen that even when it was in a church and then it moved to a fire station and now it's moved to a different building, what do you think has kept it sacred over time?
Well, I think the sacredness of it is the community cooperation, and I don't think it really makes any difference where it's located.
Mm-hmm.
And but you have still the same people or type of people that are working for the goal of an effective soup kitchen, wherever it's been located. It's the same interest, same group, same cooperative spirit.
Mm-hmm. What do you see in the history of the soup kitchen? And what do you, sorry, I apologize, not in the history, in the future of the soup kitchen? And what do you think your wife would see as the future of the soup kitchen?
Well, I think the future is pretty well assured, I think, because of the experience they've had and the plans and the group that was supporting the soup kitchen now. And I think my wife would have been very pleased, and probably surprised too that it has been so successful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We found out through our studies that their numbers have continually grown throughout the years. They've gotten more and more people, and that's one of the reasons for the expansion and the moves to different buildings. Do you think that there's anything that could cause that number to drop?
I think the reason that it's jumped a good deal, I think, is the poor economy in the last few years. And I think as the economy gets better and better, the need for the soup kitchen and the clients coming to the soup kitchen probably will decrease. They should decrease.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that there's anything else that the soup kitchen helps their clients with instead of just food? Do you think there's any other way that it might affect them?
Well, I think there is other aspects of service that are involved in the plans of the soup kitchen now. I know Austin Pierce had told me in a general way what the new facility will include, and I think it does include aspects of service more than or in addition to just food.
Mm-hmm.
And they're health-related services, I think.
Mm-hmm. If you could describe, if you personally could describe the soup kitchen in a few words, what do you think you would say?
Well, of course, the goal and the results are just of service, but I think one thing you see, especially on the spaghetti meal, is the sense of cooperative, joyous spirit, because you go over there to that celebration and everybody's really upbeat and happy and smiling and so on, so which is really great to see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that is all the questions that I have to ask you today.
Great.
So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming by, and it's been a pleasure to see you.